Hi everyone, welcome back to your course on data structures and algorithms. The topic for today's discussions is variables. So let us understand what are variables in C++. A variable is a term used for the name given to any value in C++. So in simple terms, a variable is just a name given to any value in C++. Also, it is the basic unit of storage in a program and its value can be changed as per the execution of the program. So what this means is that firstly the fact that it is the basic unit of storage. It can be called as a basic unit of storage in a program. The value stored in a variable can be changed during execution. A variable is only a name given to the memory location. So the name of this memory location and all operations done on this variable affect on that memory location. So say if I have a variable whose value was 5 initially, and after the execution of the program, 5 was added to this value, so the value after becomes 10. So this 10 is reflected in the name in the memory location as well. So the same memory location which was containing 5 earlier will now have 10 in it. So the value of this variable, suppose the variable was a was 5 and now the variable a has 10. So this value changed during the execution and it will reflect on the memory location as well. Also in C++, this is an important point, that all variables must be declared before use. So let us go further and discover variables into details. So there are two terms that we generally use. Firstly is variable declaration and second is variable definition. Sometimes both of these terms are used interchangeably, but there is a huge difference between them. So let us consider and understand what these two terms mean. So variable declaration is simply writing the data type of that variable and the name of that variable, right? So say that we have int a. This is variable declaration. We can also declare multiple values at the same time, say int a, int b, and this can also be written as int a comma b in C++, right? So when we are not assigning any value to the variable and only declaring it with its type and the name, in that case it is called variable declaration. So if I write that int a equal to 5, so this int will be the type of the variable, a is the variable name, and 5 is the value associated with that variable, right? So if I assign a value to the variable, in that case it is called variable definition. So variable definition is a part where the variable is assigned a memory location and a value. So as soon as I execute this statement, there will be a memory allocated for this value 5. Say this is our RAM here, right? 5, right? So this is a reserved memory for this variable A whose value is 5. So variable definition is the part where the variable is assigned a memory location and a value, and variable declaration is only when the type and the name of the variable is declared and no value is associated to it, right? Now the name of a variable can be composed of letters, digits and underscore character, right? It must begin with either a letter or an underscore. This is a very important point. Upper and lower case letters are distinct because C++ is case sensitive. This is another important point, that C++ is case sensitive. So whenever you are declaring variables or even defining variables, say that I have to write a given variable for age. So I can write int age equal to 20, right? So this age is a valid variable name. Why? Because it starts with a letter here. I can also write age 10. This will also be valid because it has an underscore which is valid, and digit is also valid. The only thing is that it cannot start with a digit. So if I write 1 underscore age, then it is not valid. It can only start with a letter or an underscore, and it can be composed of letters, digits and underscores. Alright. So I hope how you can give names to your variables is clear. Moving on to the types of variables. Now based on data types, we have 5 types of variables: int, character, bool, double and float, right? So starting with int stands for integer type, right? So we can have int a. So this is the variable whose type is int. Now char, it is it stores only 1 byte. We can have a char a as well. So this variable is of type character. Bool holds either true or false, right? Double is a double precision floating point value, and float is a single precision float point value. So these are only the types of variables. These are same as the data types that we've earlier seen. These basically declare the type of value that we are storing in our variable. Moving on to the types of variable based on their scope. Now what is scope? Scope is basically that where in the program can we access these variables. Do they have a limited scope, or do they have an unlimited scope? That is, can they be accessed throughout the program, or do they have specific limitations to it? So for this there are 2 types. Firstly, local variables. A variable that is local to a block or method of a program is said to be a local variable. So if I have a function, say I have a function age, and I have certain values in it, and I declare a variable here int a, right? So this variable a will be local variable. Why? because it can be accessed within this curly braces of the function. However, if we use say sum equal to a plus plus outside this function, in that case this will be invalid, because why? A is a local variable and it cannot be accessed outside the function. So the scope of this variable is limited to within the block or method. So number 2 are global variables, a variable that is declared outside a block or method of a program. The scope of this variable is throughout the program, meaning that this can be declared anywhere. Say you simply declare it with hash include statement, and then you simply declare it as int g equal to say 90, and then you start with your int main. So this lies even outside the main function. So it is a global variable for your program. Let us look at an example to understand local and global variables. So let us write a program. So say this is our program, a simple program that only outputs the value of a particular variable. So this, as we see, is declared outside any method just after include iostream and using namespace std. So this is what is we call as a global variable, and this is the main function, and this variable int h equal to 10 is our local variable. Why? Because it lies within a given function, right? So if you execute this program, the output that you get here will be 10. Cout h here means outputting the variable h will contain the value 10 and not 20. Why? Because local variables, the value of local variables has higher precedence over the global variables in a program, right? So if the variable name of a local and global variable is same and we execute the output statement within that method, then the value of the local variable shall be printed and not of the global variable. So I hope global and local variables are clear to you, and the entire concept of variables are clear to you. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.